T-minus 30 seconds. T-minus 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Shout out to USARK and all USARK members. If you don't know what USARK is, don't be ashamed. Just go ahead and click the third link in the description below. See what USARK is all about, okay? You never know when legislations are going to hit your backyard, so that's why it's very important to consider becoming a USARK member today. These numbers really do matter, and they look at it for consideration when it comes to battling legislation. So first and foremost, thank you, Phil Goss. Thank you to anybody out there who partners up and volunteers with USARK organization. Thank you for anyone out there who's a USARK member. And if you can't become a USARK member today, please talk about it on your platforms. Let your neighbors know, let all your pet stores know what USARK is here for, and it's here to fight for our animal rights. Thank you to every USARK member and USARK supporter out there. Choo!
All right. Good afternoon or morning, depending on where you're at today. This is Krista with the Girls Who Love Reptiles podcast on the one and only Trap Talk Reptile Network, the coolest reptile network in the world. We're on episode 35 and a very, very special episode. I'm so excited to have ReptiCo as a sponsor of the Girls Who Love Reptiles show on Sundays. So excited to have them on, talk about everything, the species that they're doing. It's headed up by Channing, who she's the daughter of Don and Billy Rice from Rice Reptiles, who do the ball pythons. But it's a really big, all in the family that we're going to hit on today to get into, their thought process behind starting this business, the species they're getting into. Sounds like they want to get into education as well and bringing new people in. So we'll hit on what their plans are all for that. And again, really want to thank you for all the support that you guys have given me, especially at Tinley. A lot of you came up and said you really like the content that's coming forward every week. And I really, really appreciate that. We've not even been in it for a year and there's so many doors opening. So I'm really excited to have you guys along for the ride. And with that, we'll bring up Channing and Mr. Billy Rice up and we'll kind of get started. All right. How are you guys doing?
Doing great, Krista. How are you?
I'm doing well. So excited to have you guys on. How's your weekend been?
It's been doing good. We've been trying to get some things seen about. We've got the Charlotte show in North Carolina coming up. We're excited to do that in a couple weeks. We're trying to get things seen about.
Is that the ARPE one? Or is that ReptiCon?
It's Troy's show.
Okay.
It's All American Reptile and Plant Show, I think is what they call it.
Yep.
People kid with Troy, so it's like, what is it, like the elderly thing, what is it, triple A or whatever that the elderly get. It's, I don't know.
He's goofy guy. Yeah, I did their Kansas City show and I thought it was pretty well run. It's a really cool mix with the plants and the reptiles and getting new people in that way. So.
And I think this show, because he's so close to Florida over here, will be even better because he'll really get a lot of very cool plant people out of Florida up at this show. I think there'll be more plant stuff here from what I've heard people talk about.
Okay. Is this the first time you've done this show or have you done this show before?
Yes, it is the first. It is the first time. And it's the first time that ReptiCo's really going to travel with some volume with Rice Reptiles.
Okay, so yeah, because the past couple of shows, I saw you guys at Sear and Tinley is mainly Rice Reptiles. So now ReptiCo's starting to stand out. Okay, awesome, very cool. Yeah, we'll kind of get into that too as far as shows and what you guys will be doing as far as selling animals and meeting people. But I kind of want to start from the beginning on what inspired you guys to start ReptiCo. Like, how did that idea come about, really?
It was really. So we started Rice Reptiles as a family, and I love the hognose and crested geckos, and my dad likes crested geckos too. So, I wanted to do something, but with Rice Reptiles, we want to be mainly focused on our high-end ball pythons.
Mm-hmm.
And so we wanted something that we could branch out on. So ReptiCo would really be kind of like, as I get older, like it'd be something to provide like me money, and for like as I get older, because this would be something I'd want to do as I get older. So we're going to do Rice Reptiles as a family, and like later on it'd be something that I could do like by myself, more like
Okay.
also do like Rice Reptiles as a family.
Okay.
Rice Reptiles is also partners with Canova, and we're just in ball pythons with Rice Reptiles. So we really don't want to promote other species other than ball pythons with Rice Reptiles.
So with ReptiCo, we can do different species. So we're not like, so that's why we named it ReptiCo. So it's like it doesn't have a specific, for crested geckos, for hognose, and I can do whatever species I would like with this.
I think that's super smart for one, and starting out. It's kind of what I did with mine too. Like I put exotics, because I didn't want to. You see some people kind of pigeonhole and do pythons or something, and they want to get other species, and they have to change the name, which you can do, but rebranding, I know is difficult. And I think that diversity is really, really important. I myself have started getting the jahuas that we talked about, and the knobtail geckos recently. So I think as a business, it is important to diverse yourselves. I think it sounds like you guys kind of thought that as well.
Yeah, and what we did with this is so with ReptiCo, I did not like the name at first. Channing and Dawn really loved this name, so I did not like it at all because it sounded like Petco to me. So, and that is nothing where we want to brand to at all. So I did not like it to start with, but when I just thought into it more, it's a reptile company, which our deal with our daughter is teach her business strategies, how to run businesses, manage life, those kind of things. So it is a reptile company. So you have that in the name, but then it's a cooperative of our family together in different species. So I have species in it. Dawn will have things that she does in it. And then Channing, has the bulk of it. But it just allows us to have, I have carpets, I have green trees, and then I also have Uris that I love. And
okay.
And
we also have the lychees.
Yep.
And gargoyles.
Okay.
He's more into that side of the crazy, all that stuff.
The new And Channing, how old are you? You have a birthday coming up, I know.
Yeah. I'm 14 right now, but in 2 weeks I'll be 15.
So yeah, so very, very, very young. So the fact that you're learning these skills at this age is really, really important. I mean, I'm obviously pro school because I've been in school my whole life, but it can't teach you everything. And so I think you can learn a ton, if not more, on the hands-on stuff.
Yeah, even out of school though, I'll still go get a degree in college. Just because you never know what happens in life, but this will be my main focus.
Yep. No, I definitely support the degree too. Yeah. No, I support the college as well. I just know, some of that you can learn in person too. So yeah, I feel like this will make college even easier because you've already learned some skills that you can apply in the classroom.
I've definitely been thinking about that whenever I go to college, like online school, just so I can be here and focus on this. I think it'd be easier to go online instead of having to go. Just make things easier.
Yeah, I think so too. Do it at your own pace, and online is pretty useful.
A couple 100 students that actually do that, but I think as I get older, it'll be expand more. So it'll be more colleges will have that available.
That's in your area. There's thousands that do that across America.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Bigger than going to school now, probably.
The online colleges.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, looking back, I wish I could have done some of that. And I did work throughout undergrad and vet school myself, but looking back at it, sometimes I wish maybe if I could have done online and worked a little bit more or something instead of just going to school for 9 to 5 and that's all you kind of did. But I think it just turns out to what do you want to do. Some people like that college and that college environment, but online stuff is very practical, I think. So
yeah, it'd help a lot with what she's wanting to accomplish with this, I think.
Oh yeah. Yep. That combined with this, and yeah, you'll be good to go with those skills. What skills do you think you've learned so far?
I guess getting out of being able to talk to people better and knowing more about the animals. I feel like I get more comfortable as I go on, doing podcasts and stuff. And I really like whenever we do Palm Street, the lives. Yeah, that's fun. I feel like Dad's taught me because you got to give people respect to earn respect.
Oh yeah.
So I think it's a really big deal if like whenever I'm out here, like being respectful to like mom and dad and stuff, because like you want to be respectful to people who give you respect. It's
Oh
just
yeah.
a thing to be kind to everybody, and like whenever you're talking to somebody, you really need to engage on what they're saying. So like if someone's speaking to you, you want to be heard. So the same thing to them.
Yep, for sure. Communication is so big, and you probably gain some experience from that with shows too. But then the virtual or the online present is a whole nother communication, bear in a sense. So yeah, the fact that you're learning how to engage with people and be confident, I think comes off as a real positive as you go to kind of get those people to buy animals and trust you going forward. So yeah.
To me, with the dad side of that, that's the things that I want to teach her, is to be very independent. So I want her to be able to be a creative, independent person that always can think outside of the box, to not only be respectful, like she's saying, but also to be able to create and do the things that she wants to in life, create free time, but also be able to create her own income herself without having to rely on other people.
Yeah.
Those are things that I want to instill in her, whether it's reptiles or anything else that she does. I want her to be able to learn how to be successful in life by thinking outside of the box.
That's awesome. That's all. That's A+ for parenting, right? No, that is though, in a sense of growing up. I mean, my dad was very, very, very similar, and I attest a lot of the success I've had to my family and how they raised me to be really hardworking. And I grew up on a farm, working hard all the time, and that those skills really do travel with you as you're going. So yeah, you'll be set up to where you're older and independent, not having to rely on people, and it's nice because I'm in that boat now, and it's nice to be able to make your own decisions and yeah, not rely on
And it's perfectly fine. I mean, we're on an all girls podcast here, so Palmcast podcast. We did Palm Street Friday night, guys, so I'm sorry. So anyway, all girls podcast here, and the cool thing is, like, so I have a sister that her husband is extremely successful, and she's able to be a stay-at-home mom, and he's a OBGYN doctor. He's a staff at the hospital, super successful. I totally support that lifestyle whatsoever.
Yeah.
I totally support her being able to stay with her kids, and they're grown now. So I mean, they've had a great life, but at the same time, I want Channing to be outside of that and to be able to be independent of ever needing anything like that, which that was never the case with them. It was perfectly awesome, but I want her to be able to think outside of the box and be her individual self and never have to rely on anyone. But if she also has a husband that can do that for her, and she wants to be a stay-at-home mom, then be a stay-at-home mom. That's awesome.
Like, you never know what happens in life.
Yes.
So like if something happens, like I wouldn't have to be like, hey dad, can I pay you back later? Hey, can I get this money? No, like I'd be like, okay, I can pay for it. I want this now. I'm gonna get it now. Or like if I need to go somewhere, like you never have to be like, well, can I get this paycheck, that? Because they'll be like, I own my own company. It'll be different.
For sure. No, yeah, but having the skills to be able to choose whatever kind of lifestyle you want is the goal. So yeah, for sure. And I see we all got our ReptiCo shirts on. So what? Talk a little bit about the logo and the color scheme you guys went with.
We love the clean look. Like how we did with Reptiles, we like it being clean because whenever you see a logo, we like it real simple so that whenever you see it, you can think of the name just like that. So whenever we did this, we kind of wanted to be simple, but like I wanted color in it, so we just did like the green. Because whenever I think of like reptiles, I always think green for some reason. Like it's always a certain color with everything.
It's my favorite color too. So
okay,
I was very on board with green.
Yeah. Green tree python, that color, that lime, really bright. It's really pretty. So yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, no, I really like the logo. I also agree with the kind of just simpler, professional kind of look. If it gets too, crazy in there, it's hard to people to understand what your business is. And so
we also wanted to change the color of the end, so you kind of separate it, so it's not so much one word.
Yes, that, and I like how the little eye is also green as well. Yeah. I really like that. So
I did that, Krista, so I can take all credit for this. That logo is 100% my design. They come up with the name, and like I was telling you before this, I wasn't on board with the name to start with, but afterwards, absolutely, I love it now.
Yeah.
Like the logo that we had before, but as Dad kept going on with like coming up with different ones, I started liking this one a lot better.
Yep. It's hard when we say in the family, you think everything, is like kumbaya, but no, some people still have, what they want to do and differences. So you got to kind of work that out, and then have supper with them later on, everything be good. So it makes it hard with family. Sometimes you got to, see them later and still work together. So
Absolutely.
So yeah, and kind of going in from this curiosity, what kind of skills or lessons from Rice can you kind of apply to establishing ReptiCo? And again, what makes ReptiCo different from other businesses? You're kind of entering with hognose and cresteds, and there's a lot of people that produce those. So how are you kind of setting yourself up to be set yourself apart?
So with the Rice Reptiles company, it's really hard to stay on top because it's on any industry really. Like it's so hard to stay on top. So with Dad, he worked like it's constantly new breeding, growing up the animals real fast, and it's like, but it is one species at the same time. But it's really hard to stay on top. But with this, we want to have really high end on ReptiCo too. So it's keeping them healthy, keeping all the breeding together, but there is different species. So I'm trying to figure out how to.
That's maybe hard. You can have fun anytime. No, I think that's those taking care of animal skills, and then ball python. It's hard. Ball pythons are hard. You always, I think, gotta think like 5 or 6 steps ahead, and almost like chess a little bit more. So
The part that I think that she's not even thinking about right now is the organization of Rice Reptiles. A lot of the exact same organizational concepts that we use on tubs and like the information on tubs, same type of cleaning regimens, things like that. Those are big skill movovers to ReptiCo for Channing. It's able to us to use the Canova based system basically through other species, which is amazing.
Everyone knows that we use clutch for our ball pythons, but we use Husbandry Pro for our geckos. So like as soon as the babies are born, we will put them in their ID. So like we can breed, like we can pull up the gecko if you want us to. We'll know the parents right away. Exactly, almost like close to how we do clutch, but that's what we do for our geckos. So we'll have like the whole lineage also.
But yeah, lineage is huge in those guys. I know Summer talked to me a little while back. Do you know if Clutch is coming out with adding other species in there at any point?
It could later on. I think it'll be great for like crested geckos.
Oh yeah,
anything where you need lineage tracking.
Yes,
it's great with that with ball pythons. I absolutely love the Clutch software.
Yes.
It's amazing. It keeps getting better every day. I mean, he's just done another round of updates, and I can't tell you how much better and faster we can run the collection. The time saved off being able to have that software.
Yeah, shout out to Clutch, they're a sponsor of the Trap Talk Network. So yeah, I was at Tinley kind of watching them go through the interface, and it's really simple, easy, clean, modern that I liked. I just want them to add the other species and make it all one.
I think they will when Justin gets it dead to the point that he wants it for one species. Then he probably will start adding species. I would say for sure though he'll want to get it dead on the way he wants it first.
For the balls, you're saying?
Yes, okay. Yes. He'll want everything dialed in, and not that he won't add stuff after the fact, but he'll want to get all the kinks out of it, everything running smoothly, and all the systems in place to where he's happy with the entire package of it. And then when he's happy, then he'll probably add species. And I think like crested geckos and green trees would be definitely kind of the first tier things that would be very smart to add, because it would just, the lineage tracking with the ball pythons is going to be so important going into the future with new genes popping out and being able to do that. And you can like family tree everything. So you can see.
That's what they were showing me. Yeah. And you can click it in, and then it opens the family tree of that animal, and it's a never ending. But I think with the balls, as we're kind of seeing here, some of that stuff's a little phenotypic. So that's where that family tree is going to be real important going forward for sure.
It'll be super important, because I mean, we'll be able to go back to the source of where it started.
Right.
That'll be super cool. And then also like with us prepping for shows with Clutch, the cool thing about that is like I can create a tag of any type you want. So like when we went to Bob's Southeast Reptile Expo, I just made a Southeast Reptile Expo tag. I just tag every single animal that I want to take, print it all at one time, and we set up a show just right off the bat in no time. Like I literally can print, say we're taking 100 animals, I print them in 2 minutes, 3 minutes.
Oh, wow.
The entire thing prints out.
That's super easy. I think I saw a video of Justin doing that, and then he would just find the animal and stick that tag in there, and so that it makes like setting up the show displays and everything just like a piece of cake, really. So
much easier. The way we were doing it before, Krista, I literally would draw out our plan, like each display case, I would draw it out on a piece of paper, and I would lay out the animals according to that, because you want to do it by projects as the way to do things. So we would do the whole back probably at the top, and the ingredients to make that below there.
Yep, that's exactly how I was kind of, I mean, I'm so really small right now, but as I expand, that's why I was bringing the whole back, the not for sale, and then the pieces, and then do it by projects. People aren't, walking from one table to the end table. We know at these shows, it gets so packed, and then if people can't see, they just get tired of waiting in line. They'll just go somewhere else. So if you can be, hey, what projects you're interested in, then kind of direct them based on that, then
absolutely. It helps a lot. It helps you because if you got the whole back animal and a project together in a group, you're not searching the table for something. At a show like Tinley, that's super important.
Yeah,
people, you don't have time to do that.
No, I mean, you could lose sales off that. Honestly, if people get tired of
tired of waiting for you to finish the customer.
Yep, I did that on some of like the geckos. I'm like, I'm tired of standing here trying to wait. I'll come back.
Yeah. We did the same thing and never got back. So we missed some things. I bought as much at this show for ReptiCo and for Rice Reptiles at Tinley. I bought as much as we brought in at the show. So we're still in that phase of even this far along. We're still in that phase of diversifying.
Yeah. So because on the thumbnail, I had mainly cresteds and hognoses, which is what I think. What other species are you guys adding into that going forward? I know we said like maybe some gargs and stuff, but I didn't know if that was more for sure this or just something playing with on the side. So, yeah.
So I have tricolor hognose. I'm doing my first pairing this season of them. So that will be different. We've got
locks there already. She's already got locks there.
She's got locks, nice.
Yes, I have. I've caught 2 locks, and we are going to start with the leechies. We have put a breeding pair together, but we have not caught anything.
Not sure that's being successful right now. Might have to find another male. Yeah, the female's super mean.
Yeah, I heard that's a thing with them a little bit. I feel like those guys, it's hard to see a lock too if you just put them in there, and I don't have the time to stand there all day and wait. Maybe if you put a camera up, but I feel like those are hard.
I do have 6 Mexican king snakes. Okay. So I am growing them up. They're eating pretty good. We'll see how that goes. We do have gargoyles.
And a lot of cresteds.
We have tons of cresteds. The gargoyles are kind of in an experimental stage with us. We're just seeing what we like and everything, but I do want to invest in some really nice ones. There's some people we want to work with to get some really nice ones there.
Yeah, I like
we have the green trees and we have carpets. We have really nice diamonds and some very nice jungles. We only buy like in the carpets. It's stuff that in the carpets is something that we hope to breed and sell, but some of the stuff that's involved with ReptiCo is for fun. It doesn't have to be about money with ReptiCo.
Okay. Yeah, I see. Because you got a little bit of colubrid. So doing whatever you like, which makes it more fun. I mean, I got like the knobtails and the chihuahuas, and now I'm really obsessed with those and want more of those. So doing it for fun, and I'm still applying those business skills to it too as well. We'll just help it kind of grow in the future. With the cresteds, I've been listening to a lot of actually crested podcasts recently just because I'm curious. Is there a specific morph that you guys or trait that you're working on with those or anything like that?
It's very broad.
Okay. There's a lot out there. Yeah.
Yeah, we have anywhere between we have like sables head exanthic. So we're working sable into exanthic, cappuccinos into exanthic.
Hypo.
Yep, hypo exanthic lily whites. Anything you can think of. Red Rock, I think it is, with crested geckos. They have a line of reds that have portholes and pinstriping down the back. We have a line just like that has exactly that same characteristics, but then also with huge Dalmatian spots.
Okay.
Very cool looking. They're very, very cool looking.
That'd be cool looking.
We had a baby from her hatch the other day, and it already is. Ink spots are insane. It's gonna be crazy whenever it gets older. I hope a bunch of her babies have came out like that. It's awesome.
Okay, that's really, a lot of people like the Dalmatians. I think they're cool. And I saw some of the porthole stuff. Those are really, I have not really seen those, but those are really cool. That one animal that I lost out, but just because I thought it was super cool looking. But yeah,
we picked up one from Tom with Geckological, and so we picked up one that is a red base, lily white that has the pixel gene, and it is just loaded with pixels, and it literally makes those white spots over the entire body.
Oh wow!
The ones that we produce that will not have lily white,
yes,
will have those white spots instead of just portholing on the side over the entire body.
We're also really big on structure for our geckos. So the one that Dad just told you about, we love like the bigger heads, the nice build. That looks really nice on the geckos.
I heard that's a big thing with them too, is the overall, not just like the morph, but the overall structure and the body and that kind of chunky big build with the big head. Yeah, so I think it's important to
the structure with crested geckos is a lot like with your more domesticated animals, like your hogs, your cows, things like that, where they look for structure.
Yes,
what crested gecko breeders are looking for is they want the big head, they want the nice crest on it. They want it where it's not too skinny in the hips and everything, just a good broad thick structure.
Yeah, I was looking at some on MORPH, and you can definitely, your eye can definitely tell the difference in kind of the quality there. That's probably how you guys sounds like you're setting yourself apart or up by producing those really high quality animals. And you kind of talked about it a little bit, but one of my questions too was who has been kind of your mentors into this, into going other species? Because I know I've had to reach out to some friends that do these species, getting into it. And I know you mentioned a few other names, but I don't know if you had any other people that kind of helped you get into this with these species.
Flawless. Audrey and Will have really helped us with it. And
Junior with your hog nose.
Junior's hog nose.
Oh yeah, shout out to Junior. Yep, he's great.
And we've bought a bunch of our geckos are from I think.
It's hard when you buy so many from different people to
MORPH Menagerie.
Oh, I've had her on. She's great.
We love Gabby.
She's great. We've got some super crazy high-end stuff from Gabby. I mean, when she went to the Daytona show, we bought the best of all of her animals.
Yeah.
And she's doing that Flora Fauna conference. I know. Are you guys looking at? I mean, probably doing that in the near. As soon
as if we could get more time for Channing to be away from school, that's going to be the thing that hinders her with this for a little bit. Is the fact that it's kind of punishing a kid that's doing something unique by having it to where she literally. I mean, kids have to go to school and you can't miss but a certain amount of days. I get that, but she's punished by having to take the finals, even if she just misses the amount of days, even though she would do it as going to run a business and learn about business. I mean, that should be an educational type thing that we get. And we have an approach like the board or something with that. Maybe that could work, where if she does her work or something like that, it may be something we could request.
I would take the final, but at the same time, if I keep a good grade all year and that day I do not I cannot think on the final or it gets too hard, I can fail that class after doing good all year. There's no going back.
Final's a huge part of it. So they really push attendance with the final and then your grade with the final, and they'll exempt that. I don't understand that. We always had to take finals when I was young. You never could exempt something, but that's the way they do it.
Yeah, this coming up show, with this coming up show, I'm going. So if you have all A's, you can miss 3 days. Whatever that means that you can
For
still
the whole
miss
year?
Yeah.
Oh.
And for like if you have bees, you can only miss 2 days, so you like see only 1 day. So in all my
Well, it's
classes,
per semester, right?
per semester. So
I
I'm
mean,
on my
still
second
though.
semester.
That's
Yeah.
a lot. If you get sick one good time with a virus, you're a day or two, and you'd be close to having to do it.
Yeah. So on the day that I'm gonna miss, I can miss one more day, which will be that Friday. So I am gonna take that day to go. I have 2 B's, 2 A's. So on all my first classes, all 3 of my first classes, I have 1 A and 2 B's. So I'm gonna miss that day. So I'll at least have 2 absences.
Or the B's in science.
No, I have an A in science right now.
We better have.
Ooh.
That's
Love
my
science.
block. I've already got 2 absences, but as long as I keep an A in there, I can miss this 3rd day.
Yeah, that's way different than when I was growing up, I feel like. So yeah, that would make it challenging to do shows for sure. I mean, you got the summer, I think, but they may just be something where you kind of focus on growing the brand name and then do shows if you can, but then when you're in college, really kind of.
None of the big shows are during the summer, Krista.
Oh yeah,
think about it. They're all in the fall. They're all in the spring.
True.
None during the summer.
That's
not
true.
the big ones. We could do little ones, but not big ones.
Yeah, the only one I could think of is Schaumburg. Really, that one's in July.
When that one comes in, they literally are starting the first week of school.
So when does your summer start?
My school normally starts on like August 7th, but like it'll end like towards the end of May. So that's whenever our summer starts. We only have like 2 months. Very expanded because we had to rebuild and like we built a new school. So it really started in September.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's hardly any big shows in that window. So yeah, that's something where either maybe talk to the board, or as you go into college, then kind of you have a little bit more flexibility for sure.
Yeah, if she can take online classes, she'll be able to attend shows and work on it while I drive.
But a Florida one sounds. Can't go this year just due to school and trying to finishing up. But that's one I do hope to.
We're gonna go. We're gonna get with Gabby now
year.
that we're starting to release more. We're gonna get with Gabby about maybe vending there within the next year or two.
Okay. Awesome. Yep. I'll see you guys. I'll probably visit there. But yeah, that seems like a really, really awesome show. So as we kind of move into that as well, other things we were talking about backstage is you guys really want to bring new people into the hobby. How are you guys planning on going? I think it's wonderful and want to hear your ideas and thoughts on doing that.
It's really younger kids that we would like to bring in, because you would think about like everybody's getting older now. So like the next generation coming up. So it'll bring like new ideas, new people loving it. Like because you want it to continue as you get older. And then like that generation, next generation, because you want it to continue and not like go away. You know, keep it alive, keep it fun.
That's something that we're really going to dedicate a big portion of ReptiCo with. We're going to definitely do very high-end animals, but we also want to have animals that are at a price range where we can educate young kids and even young adults or anybody, period, that's interested in these animals now. Because I mean, you think about it, Krista, look how far the animals have come in 10 years.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Imagine 10 years from now, when we're making so many animals that will stay beautiful as adults, where with ball pythons and even with crested geckos and things, we've had some color changes and not as crazy geckos and ball pythons or even carpets or things like that. They're all way better after so many years of breeding. 10 years from now, it's going to be even crazier. And we're going to keep these crazy colors right on into adulthood. On a lot of these different species. It's going to be nuts. And then I think we're going to see even a bigger surgence of people wanting to be into this, because when they see people with their pets staying beautiful the entire time that they own it, it's going to help a lot.
Yes, I think that's a big part of it too, because yeah, you do hear people getting like a ball python or like a banana. That's probably a classic example where they look so beautiful, and then as an adult they sort of like start getting. And I think
we're getting there now with that.
Yes.
Banana. Like it depends on the genetics we get into it. So like we've got like chocolate coral glow, and which is banana clowns that are keeping just amazing, beautiful colors. But then we've got other ones that we've packed with too many genes that don't look as good. And I was inspired at Tinley. Brad Boa had some lace banana or coral glow stuff on his table that were just absolutely amazing. So lace really enhanced that and kept a lot of color there. So if we can enhance that color and keep that, and then also add the dark genes for the contrast and the purples, then we're going to be doing those kind of things that will keep, will bring people in, and that will keep people in as we continue to make animals like that.
Yep, totally agree. Because I've had a lot of people inquire on some animals. I had some have banana. They're like, "Is this animal going to look like this as it goes an adult?" And it's like, ooh, like I have to be somewhat like, usually bananas tend to fade, but with certain genes, I mean, I had red stripe in a lot of mine, and the red stripe actually turned it up a notch too. And the male that I had red stripe, and he looked really good as an adult. So there, I can kind of say, typical bananas, yes. These with the added genes should. But yeah, people are interested in that. If they're going to spend however, many dollars they want that animal to look good as an adult. And I think going in on the kids is really important too, because there's such like a generational, still I'm kind of saying like a negativity with reptiles, often from the parents, not so much from the kids. So if you can kind of get it from the ground up, that may change some things there.
And that's things that we're going to bring. There's things we can't even announce yet that we're going to be able to do here in the future that will really enhance that. It'll make when you see us at a show, we'll be very interactive with us on that kind of deal, to where we can educate and promote the animals, and then also have you'll have us as a resource from then on to help anything you need. I mean, we do that even on the high end. Anything anyone needs from us, all they have to do is reach out, and you don't even have to buy an animal from us.
And with, it kind of works out in this way, but with Channing, with you being younger, you're more inept with that generation, so you can be able to relate to them better. So that's a really good, skill you have right now in order to relate to people and see what interests them and get them in that way too. Do a lot of kids at school ask questions, or how is their response to what you do? Are they kind of like, "Oh, she does
tell the whole story of early on to later on that"?
Yeah.
So we started this whenever it's been 10 years, honestly.
11.
Wait, no.
11.
Yeah, 11. Okay. So I started whenever I was 4. We went to Orlando. We were looking for blue-tongued skinks. And I see Family Reptiles. She had this, just a normal ball python on her. And I walk up to her and I'm just like, "Can I hold it?" And I'm 4, so I'm like this tall. And she hands it to me and I'm holding it with no fear. I've never been scared of animals, honestly. Like, people are like, "How do you do that? You're so brave." And I'm just like, how do you not like them? So Dad comes, and he was like, this time he didn't really know much. Like, he knew about him, but he was still like freaked out, kind of like. So he was like, "Oh my gosh, like, where did you get that?" And I show him, and yeah, we were taking 3 snakes home with us that day.
Okay. So that was the very start.
That was the start. And
But let them know how you got, like, people are treating you in general in school about this, because that was kind of a big part of it.
So as I get older, I'm probably about 10. Now my friends are coming over. They're like seeing all my stuff, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, you got snakes!" Like, and so rumors start going around school that I've got anacondas, I've got rattlesnakes, I've got just the most.
Chris said they think we like sleep with them. They're in our house, just everywhere.
I literally had people say, "I'm not coming to your house because I bet you sleep with them." I bet, like, I'm like, "Oh, we better stay away from Channing's house." Like, what? And they're like, no, they went online because they were like, "You've got a business?" And I was like, "Yes." And so they go online. They're like, "Well, you can't be saying nothing if you can't even buy a snake from her."
Yeah.
Like, I was like, "Oh my gosh."
So they go online and they see the price of some of the animals. Are like, now you can't say something. Her friends are protecting her. Then, like, you can't say something because you can't even afford to buy one of her snakes.
It really wasn't my friends the same thing, because they always thought it was cool, honestly. Like, my friends, like, they would come over and see, they're like, "Oh my gosh, like, this is pretty cool." Like, my friends would hold them. But, like, it was people that I didn't even hang around with say stuff about it. And, like, I don't know. I didn't really, like, it would kind of bother me because, I was younger, but now I really do not care because, I mean, I like it. So why does it matter if they don't? Like they can, they just can't. Like if they can't understand, then oh well.
And that just goes back to kind of still that sort of negative like connotation with some of this.
That's why, like,
that's where I've seen though. Channy's not even thinking about that. I've seen a lot of her friends come around to some of that stuff and see the coolness in it, especially with her this young, owning her own business, things like that. A lot of the kids, it's changed a lot of perspectives, and you still have plenty of people in the community that just think it's absolutely crazy, couldn't stand it. But then there's a lot of people in the community that have embraced how cool it is, and they think it's super neat. Whether they like the species or not, they think the coolness of the animal is very neat.
Yep, that's all. That's all. Is if as long as you can get people just to give them a chance. You know, I'm not saying go out and buy like 20 of them, but just hold them, give them a chance, get interested, and you'll see people kind of flip the. I've seen it at shows when they come in, they've never even held anything before. They held it, they see it, that connection that they feel with the animal is what makes them kind of process in their mind. Oh, okay, maybe, you know, they start attaching kind of human feelings to it in a way.
Yeah, down here being like in South Georgia, a lot of people like hunting and stuff. So like they're like, whenever we see a snake, like you've got to kill it. And like it really with us doing this
species.
Yeah.
Yeah, like up north it's more like I feel like it's more common. People love it more. So like whenever I go there, people are like who loves this stuff? But whenever I go north, it's like, oh my gosh, like a lot of people really like this stuff. And like I feel like down here, if like you love it, people like will be like, oh my gosh, like people think I'm weird or something for liking this. Like, no, if you like doing it and you like this kind of stuff, like embrace it, because at the end of the day, you only get to live one time. So who cares what anybody else thinks? Like, honestly, like make something different, because it's really boring to be basic.
Yeah, that's what makes us. That's what makes it fun. Is us. I mean, diversity of people, but also the diversity of species and morphs, like things that are different. It's way more enriching than if everybody thought the same thing, for sure. Yeah. So that's a cool story though, and yeah, it just shows that, you know, just give them a chance. You can turn some people around. So
it went from making, you know, kind of making fun and being and picking at her really bad to this is cool. She's actually doing something crazy.
Yep, that'll change their minds. That's funny. Now I'm being able to buy snakes, so you can't say anything. That's funny. That's what you gotta do. The bullies sometimes. You gotta stand up to them. But with that, I mean, I know I've seen it myself. Starting a new business or brand is difficult. How or what things have you done? What things are you planning to do in order to kind of build a brand recognition? Obviously, this helps a lot with the podcast, but I know if any other ideas you kind of guys were planning on to build that brand recognition for ReptiCo.
Really online, like YouTube, trying to get things posted, because like I need to start doing that more for ReptiCo, because we've got to get that started. We've been focusing on our reptiles, but I've got to get that up since I'm not able to go to shows a lot. I think with the online stuff, that's really important to get more stuff posted, because like you can really reach more people with online.
For sure. I've seen you guys do that last month for sure on the rice side of things every week drop when I've watched them. It's been fantastic. I know it's stressful getting into it. I myself am trying to put myself out there to do more YouTube videos too. But I think if you just don't focus so much on the quality of the video, but just like the content, I think that helps you get over the hump. People just want to see cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing with us right now. We're so tired, Krista, when we're doing these videos. Like we've done this after huge workloads. Like
it'll be like videos working from 6 to 5, and then it'll be like videos.
And she's talking about 6 in the morning till 5 in the evening, Krista, and then literally trying to make videos right after that. We're just so tired. That's probably affecting the quality of our creativity and energy in the videos and things like that. So those are things we're going to work on. We really got a lot of things in the works where we're going to be able to do a lot of that a whole lot better. But that's the things. We've got to create a website still for ReptiCo. That will be coming. We've really just been stacking animals and learning the genetics of the animals. So we've been breeding crested geckos for 3 years and hognose for probably 3 or 4 years. We've sold them. We just sold them through Rice Reptiles.
I see.
So now with Justin in the partnership with Rice Reptiles, all these other species need to be under another company name because it's different accounts and different money flows. It's just for income purposes and for Brandon Channing and what she wants to do. This is important.
Yeah, no, the website and for sure the YouTube I think will help a lot. Just showing off what you're making. You know, people fall in love with the person, and that's where they kind of watch it. I feel like a lot of people get so, like I said, hung up on the production of it and all the crazy lighting and the cameras. And yes, I should be able to see you in the animals, but like if you look at Miguel, like he just has, you know, he's just in there in his sneakers, nothing crazy or this huge production. He's just shown what he makes and people love it. So I think if you just focus on that.
That's what we're doing, unedited. I mean, we can do like a smooth transition from like over to the incubator to that, but we're literally unedited. If we start it out and it's not right, we just cut that and just start right over. And but if we get into it and we mess up, you're just gonna see our mistake.
Editing, bless that. I know MJ does a lot of work with editing, and I don't know how he does it. It's a ton of work, but
it is. And it's nice. I mean, some people are doing some amazing stuff with that, just our time and everything. But we're also having a lot of people that love the unedited stuff. So we're getting a lot of people that like it uncut, and they're commenting on that. They like to see more of it. And I want, and Channing, as Channing learns more, we just want to really bring her personality out, because people just don't really know her at all yet, and her personality. She and I cut up all the time. We really pick on each other really bad. I mean, last night we literally were in the floor of the snake room, rolling around, wrestling. Like, I mean, we go at it. I mean, she goes at it like me and my son would do. So
only girl. I'm the only daughter out of 15 grandsons. Like, I'm being
man.
Everybody,
so she grew up around tons of boys. So she's athletic and she's tough. So she can roll around with the boys, and she rolls around with me all the time, wrestling and playing around, and we have a good time in the snake room. But we also are very serious in there, so we have our moments of good times and that kind of stuff, but then we're also very serious at times because it's super important.
Oh yeah. Though I think people would like to see that. It'll come out as time. You got to take. I mean, I was real introverted too, starting this, and now I feel like I can finally start to come out.
Weird thing about like I've done pageants growing up and stuff, so like I really always have been able to like talk to people. Like, I've never had trouble making friends or anything. I think it's just like the thought of, like, I don't know, I feel like whenever I do this, I don't want to mess it up, because me and Dad really do put a lot of effort into our stuff. So it's
her confidence. All it is, Krista, is confidence in the education of the species. She doesn't feel comfortable with if she knows enough, because she feels like she needs to be an expert already, and it's all right for her not to be, you know, because I'm here to back her up. So and so it's all right for her not to be. If she misspeaks, it's her learning. So I mean, we're gonna make her get her way more involved, and too, she's going to up her education of the animals so she gets more confidence.
I think, and like I said, it comes with time, but also if you preface things like, hey, this is my experience, because oftentimes with reptiles, like, everybody does it a certain way. So if you kind of preference like, hey, this is what I'm seeing, I know that not everybody may do it this way, but this is what we're doing, this is what works for us. I think if you just preface it like that, like letting people know this is not the only way to do things, but this is how we do it, it works for us, and then I think that's a good way to go about it too, because that's what hindering me from doing the YouTube is showing that, and then people get attacking or whatever, you know, if rack systems mainly what I'm kind of worried about, because you know there was always negativity towards that. But we
get tons of that with the ball python industry, especially like because they're in racks, but they just don't realize if they try some of the other things, they'll see exactly what we're talking about with the comfort level of the animals, what's so important, because you can have an animal that will do great in a huge setup and it will do fine. Some of them just are not comfortable. Each animal's just like us. They have their own personality, their own likes and dislikes. So some of them want a bigger, nicer enclosure. Some of them want to stay in tubs that I still do not even want them in, but that's they're happy and comfortable.
Honestly, just it eats. Like, whatever makes it eat. Because we do like ball pythons, you know, like they like being close. They like feeling safe. So like if they want to be in a smaller tub that makes them feel safe, they'll eat better.
The whole experience with that is if it's eating, it's happy. So that's what you're seeing.
Yeah, and then I think just like we're talking about educating people, just saying that too, even in the videos, hey, this is where these guys come from, and just telling people and educating people and getting the word out, I think will help with that too. I know there's a lot of challenges on that front. Have there been any other kind of challenges you guys had when branching into ReptiCo as well?
I really think Tom, getting everything together.
Can't miss school, so that makes it hard too.
Yeah, I really, it really does take up a lot of our time, but right now sacrificing stuff for later is a really big part, and just remembering that later on it will be more fun.
That's really good. Yeah, there's only so many hours in a day for sure, and with everything you guys got going on, it makes it hard, but you just kind of learn to get things done, do it at a high level, and marching forward. So
what she's saying, and what Channy's meaning in that is like, once she's through with school and through with college, there's going to be more time. So like, we're sacrificing a lot of our free time now because it's double the work. You have school,
yep,
have work, and then she's got baton and pageants, and I have Rice Reptiles, and then we also have to do ReptiCo together as a family. So it's limited time for us to be able to go do the things that families do, but we do this together. But then on top of that, the flip side is that 3 to 4 years from now, we're going to have huge amounts of family time together, huge amount of time with our friends and things. So it's going to be a flip side to that too.
Yeah.
It's about what you're willing to sacrifice to be successful.
You got to love it. You got to love it too. And day in, day out, otherwise it takes a toll on you for sure. If you're not, your heart's not in it. If your heart's in it and you kind of got that mentality of, okay, in a few years, we'll get to this point. That kind of helps with the whole mentality of breeding, right? Because a lot of breeding is very much like forward. You got to plan so far in the head. So if your mindset's already with that, then translating into 3 or 4 years, we have more time. Makes sense.
And a lot of people get burnt out and get tired before they reach that level to where they're having enough hatchlings to keep it interesting and to keep it like, people feel like this is taking too long. But once you scale up to a certain amount of animals, it seems like you're growing them up a lot faster than you are, because it seems like that next batch is just coming behind that. So I always felt like, and I always still feel like, I'm 2 years out with any of the species we're working with. But at the same time, those 2 years of time is going by so fast because we constantly got something we're working with or working on now. And it's different. It seems way slower if you've got 10, 15 animals of something versus if you get to about 100 animals of something. And not saying you need to be that. I'm just saying the time you take with that makes the time go by faster.
For sure. I've heard about like 5 years is where you want to like at least give yourself. Cause I'm in that first couple year stage and it's tough. I got in and got adult stuff and they bred for me. So I started off stuff pretty fast on that and able to do other species. But yeah, at least with the balls, it's hard the first couple years. People are asking me like, what are you going to make? What do you have this year? I'm like, hey, a lot of my stuff's growing up. I want some hitting a few years and then it'll start kind of churning over. But it's those first 5 years that are tough for sure.
It really is like, like whenever you're my age, you want to go like be with your friends. But at the same time, it's so beautiful to see, like whenever I was 4, like I love this. And then it'd be so beautiful, like whenever I get older, if I can just look back and be like, wow, like no one else in like my community does this. And it's just crazy to think that I created something. Because I can't really see myself having any other job. So like being able just to look back and be like, wow, we created something amazing. That's so cool.
That's awesome. And with your family too. I mean, not many people have the privilege of doing something with their family is so, as I've gotten a little bit older, so very important. Like my dad was in the hospital this past week and I kind of hit me that he's getting older type of thing. And I don't, I'm not saying he's going to be gone anytime soon, but you only have an infinite or definite, part of time with them. So the fact that you're able to do something you love when your family is truly, it's really awesome.
Like everything does happen for a reason because I feel like this is something I want to be like I want to do as I get older, but like I feel like none of this would have ever been possible if like Dad did not turn out the way he did, like the way he thinks and stuff, because like he's always owned his own business. He's always been like himself, and I feel like if he didn't like do that growing up, if he didn't like decide the decisions that he made and just become who he is now, it would have never turned into any of this.
Mm-hmm. It's not
I've always been an entrepreneur at heart. Even when I was like 10 years old, I had my own grass cutting business, and I did it to the point I worked so hard with it that my mom would tell me, Billy, I can just give you some money. You do not have to do that. And
yeah.
I was like, no, I want to do this. And, you know, that's just the way I've always been. I've always liked the challenge of, it's not really about the money. It's about the business concepts and seeing the vision you had for something come to fruition. You know, that's a very cool thing to see all the time. I mean, I like making money. Everybody does, but
yeah,
this is a passion with animals. So making money is just kind of a byproduct of that to me.
Right.
You know, I want it to do well. I want it to be successful, but I also love doing this, and I love seeing the kids come to the table. We had a little girl in Daytona come up wanting to trade a snake with us. We asked her what she wanted to trade for, and Krista was so cool. She picked an animal that was right in that trade line of where it would have actually been a trade. She knew what she was doing. So I gave her the snake off the table and told her to go trade hers for another one in the project.
Okay, very
that's
cool.
The kind of stuff we do all the time. We had a kid that followed us forever, and he wanted to be in business with this and really wanted to do well. So he come and invested. He went to every show that we went to. Before he even had driver's license, he would fly or have somebody take him there. So he saved up some money from doing the same kind of stuff that I did, you know, just hustling and making some money. So he left our facility with like $23,000 worth of ball pythons, or 28,000. It was something like that, for $8,000.
Wow.
So I mean, we really have put to heart what we say about wanting to educate and bring people into the community. That's going to be a good portion of ReptiCo is going to be about that. It'll be high end. It'll be all of that. But I want to educate other kids and adults or anybody, like I have Channing, about fulfilling their dreams and doing the things that they want to inspire to do. Because if you dream something, the only thing that's going to stop you from making that happen is yourself. You've got to overcome yourself to get to where you want to go, because there's nothing else going to stop you but yourself.
100% facts. That whole thing is, I'm definitely going to clip that and post it. I think it always start from when you're younger, like growing up too, because you can't flip that switch and hardworking and dreaming. I feel like maybe you can when you're older. I don't know. Like I said, I grew up on a farm. I feel like that's where a lot of the stuff that was instilled in me was younger. So if you kind of start out.
I was blessed to be able to see two sides of life. So I was blessed early on for my mother and father to have everything. And then at about 8 years old, the family split apart for a good while, come back together later on, but I was able to see nothing, to where my mom worked 3 jobs and struggled to, I've seen a point where she struggled to buy me a $10 book bag, you know, and me just wanting a book bag for school, you know, she struggled to be able to make that happen. So to see that side of it, and then for us to come back together as a family and them, you know, my parents heal their wounds or whatever, and get back together, and then build another successful business that I helped my dad rebuild on top of that. It really just made things come full circle. And I think I was always a dreamer and always going to be that person, but to see two sides of the coin, from absolutely nothing, from absolutely everything to absolutely nothing, and then to being able to create and do all that yourself, and being driven enough that you know you want to do that. And I always pushed and made all that super important in my life to make the things that I want to happen. And that was one of the best moments to me as a child, was for my mom to come back to me probably 4 or 5 years before she passed. She's like, Billy, one thing that I can say about you is, anything that you want to happen, if it's in your mind, you will it into existence. And that's just, to me, the blessing I got from my mother, the work ethic, the mindset, and from my father, work ethic, mindset, and all that. Neither one of them were very good with business, but that's something that I saw early on as that was their weakness in life. Very hard workers, very good people, give you a shirt off their back, but they weren't as good with business. And that's something I wanted to learn. And as I've learned that and seen how it's changed my life, that's what I want to pass on to Channing. Super motivated to pass that on to Channing, but I'm also, that's our entire business model behind Rice Reptiles and ReptiCo is everybody that comes into the business or comes to us for stuff, we want to help them be successful. So we're not just going to sell you an animal because we want to get rid of an animal. We want to sell you an animal that you will be successful with, whether you're collecting and want to breed for fun, or if you want to have investment animals so you make money. And you know, that's the thing that I want to do. And I enjoyed in doing this with Channing because it's allowing me to educate her the way that we do this. To where she's learning, like I want her to learn before she graduates, like to be able to reconcile all the bank statements, everything, be able to fully run the business. Because that's something, even once you get to college, a lot of kids do not know how to do.
Oh no, I'm still figuring out now. my dad owns a business, insurance business. So yeah, I've kind of learned a little bit from him. There's so much in that to dissect, but I think it's a very, I don't say new, but different approach in not just selling an animal just to sell somebody an animal, because you see so much of that too on the ball python side where they buy like super high-end animal, like maybe a male, for example, but then they don't have the collection to support that, and then they end up kind of getting frustrated when they don't get the return they were kind of wanting by buying said animal, just because they don't have those girls quite ready yet, you know. So trying to figure out what works best for that person will only in turn be renew itself as they are successful, and it passes down to other people and just becomes like a domino effect essentially.
With what Dad was saying, like how he could see both sides, like I don't think I'll ever be able to say that I can see both sides. And I think that's what a lot of people like around here think, that I like get like spoiled from my parents. And my dad, yes, he has spoiled me growing up a lot. But I think that you should always like help each other, like especially with the community. Is as long as we can provide things that we need, we're always gonna keep growing as a community and industry. And I think like with what he was saying, I think that you, like, no matter how much money you have, you should not think that you're better than anybody, because just the amount of money you have does not mean anything as long as you're like not a good person right here. And just not judging everybody, because you don't really know what everybody's going through. Because everybody can have, like, you can have, like, you're struggling with your income or something in your family happened. And I think that's like what everybody's going through right now, their own personal problems, and having to see about the business at the same time. It's really a lot.
That's yeah, I've always gone through life too with trying just to be respectful, cordial to everybody you come in contact, because you don't know what struggles they're going through in life, and just something small can make somebody's day just huge, and then they reciprocate that and are kind to somebody else. So
that's why I was proud to have that thing. That's my dad. They just say I get spoiled a lot, but at the same time, we really do work. Like, he'll come home at 5 and we will be working until midnight. Like, we really do work a lot.
I can tell it's paying off. If not, I will, for sure it's paying off in the future.
I think if you have kids, you should definitely make them work. Like, that's such like a thing. Like, oh my gosh, why did she say that? Like, you would think like she would say, I do not want to work. Like, help me. I think it's a really good thing, because it really helps you see, like, from a parent's perspective on like how like you should be grateful for the things that you have. Like, it really does help. Like, I can see, like, well, like, if it's like my birthday or something, I'll be like, all right, well, I'm gonna try to get this on discount, this on this. Like, if I get 2 pairs of this, should I go
to get some more geckos or something? That's what I would want for my birthday. Yeah.
That's something that I want Channing to. I always try to bring back into perspective, what it takes to get somewhere, and the effort that you have to put behind that, because kids today, and even up into the their 30s and 35-year-olds, they have a me now mentality, putting themselves first and all. And if you're starting a business or everything, nothing can be about yourself. If you're not bringing a community on board to what you're doing and other people that are in an industry, you're absolutely setting yourself up for failure. There's no way not to do that without the support of other people involved. And that's something I always want Channing to have perspective on, is to be able to bring herself back to what it would be like without these opportunities. Anytime things get hard, think about how much harder other people have it. Other people don't even have this chance, to do what she's doing right now.
Right.
There's people out there that can't afford the things that we're able to do with her.
I feel like another thing that really will help you, like, feel like you want to keep going, like if you get tired, is just think about all the people like in other countries. Like, think about the kids that like would not be able to walk or do what you're doing. Think about like, oh, like my back's hurting. Think about like my legs hurting this. I'm tired. Let's not do that. Just think about all the people who would love to do what you're doing, and really think about doing it for them.
Right.
Like think about other people that like would love to do it, and think about, oh, I will do it for them since they can't.
And just having that positive outlook too. I mean, I may have seen in a short amount of time in the reptile industry, but everything kind of being negative sometimes. I feel like every week it's something that like pops out. And if you just like take a step back and think about it in the bigger picture, like what you were describing with how silly it is to get so wrapped up in some of this when somebody, may not be able to
It's
afford
definitely
that
easy
day.
to forget about that.
Yeah.
We've seen a lot of the negativity going on through the reptile industry over the years that we've been into it, and it's something that we're just not gonna participate in. Of course, we have our views and everything, and we talk about it as a family. And we will let some of our views be public at times, but for the most part, any negativity stuff, we're just totally out of it. We're gonna promote everything positive. We do not view whatsoever breeders and other hobbyists as our competition, even though we are super competitive to make high end stuff. We view all of you as our partners, everybody out there as our partners to bring more people into the industry, because that's all it needs is more people in.
Right.
Even if it is a competition to have the best, but if someone does not keep going, we're not helping each other. Because as long as someone keeps going and we're getting better, we're all getting better, honestly.
Oh yeah, there's always a push to produce the best stuff, and it's kind of like competing with yourself. I mean, yeah, you want to produce the best animals as well, but kind of if you put just a little bit of blinders on and really hone down on your stuff and create the best that it can be. And again, think about like that chess, 5 years ahead and what different stuff you can do to maybe set yourself apart too would be. I always try to think about like that, because if you go online and just start scrolling and seeing what other people are making, you're like, dang, I'm like 2 or 3 years from that. I better just turn back around and not do it. You can't have that mentality.
You don't lose the faith in what you have.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easy to get jealous. It's really easy to get like down about it. But that's what coming back to think about. Well, I'm really grateful that I have what I have right now.
Yeah.
Animals are a roller coaster ride to start with. The odds game.
There's a lot.
The things that go on with some of the difficult species. It's a very tough roller coaster ride. Channing and I have this year hit 3 Pompeys and a clutch and have been jumping up and down in the room, high-fiving and going crazy for a minute, and then at the next time just hanging our head, shaking our head that something didn't work out great. So it's been a roller coaster ride.
Yes, I think if you just have that mentality of these are animals, I mean, I guess it's so second nature to me because I've been around animals my whole life that you can only control them up to a certain point. I mean, as a vet, I know that firsthand with medicine, you can only do so much. So I think that has helped, but maybe somebody who's not into animals, I think should definitely have that mentality if they're getting into this, that you can't control, you can only control or do what you do.
Everything to go your way because it's living.
Yeah. Feed them, take the best care of them you can, but you can't force the genetic part of it. Sometimes you can try, but Mother Nature has a way of doing her own thing. So yeah. Well, we're kind of start wrapping up things here a little bit. This has been a fantastic episode. It'll bring up some, you guys are getting a lot of love in the chats too as well. Yeah, he's been in here. Johnny's Reptiles as well. So yeah, if you guys, anybody in the chat who has questions, as we're kind of wrapping things up in the next, I don't know, 15 or so minutes, put them in the chat. I'll bring them on.
We appreciate all of you tuning in, guys. We love the support. I appreciate you supporting Channing. Channing's going to do some crazy things, and we're going to get her even more out of her shell with this. She's not shy about this. She's just got to get more confidence. And she is not shy about meeting people and shy about her animals at all. She just got to.
Yes, if anybody comes up that shows her stuff whenever I'm there, like I would love to talk to anybody.
It just takes time. Really, I think it just takes time and repetition. You'll get there. I've already noticed a huge difference between this show and the first show that you did with me. I mean, granted, this was with your dad. That one you're on your own, but
yeah, that was my first home on. That really was kind of nervous, but you made me feel more like calm, I guess. Like you really helped. So you did good on that one.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate it. I just see it as a conversation. You know, it's nothing to be, you know, stress. It's just part of it. You know, is a lot of this is virtual and getting your name out there. You know, this has become an international market in a sense too. And then it's
everybody that we're talking to here and everybody in the chat, they're part of our family. They're our community.
Yep. It's blown away how much I realize that it's a family getting into this, like talking to these people day in, day out on the phone. Like, you know, I was in Florida for Christmas, I think, and I went and had dinner with some of them who were in Miami that I talked to. My parents were like, what is she doing? I was like, this is, you know, a no brainer to me. These are my friends. But yeah, just kind of noticing that's been huge. So the relationships just can't be replaced, I guess I would say. So
no, you build some of the best bonds and relationships in this industry through these animals than you'll ever build in your life anywhere.
We literally, whenever like Hurricane Helen, however you want to say it,
yeah.
Whenever she came through, we literally, like, that was one of the worst ones we've had in about 100 years, and we had our reptile community come and, like, literally we had everybody like message us more than our family did, honestly. Like, it's so crazy. Like, you really do build a bond with almost everybody.
We have people willing to come up more than so that our family that's in our area, the community was reaching out, wanting to help us even more. So it was
cool.
Amazing.
Yeah, we're really blessed for everybody who reached out and everybody that we get to talk to all the time.
That's awesome that community does that too. Yeah, we were talking a little bit backstage about this, but how it just opens doors, the networking on meeting this person, and then it opens the door to the next person. And yeah, you're doing that as you get new people into the hobby with ReptiCo as well. So yeah, getting a lot of love in the chat too. Yeah, Outlook community. And with that, what's kind of we kind of touched on a little bit throughout, but more of do you have a specific goal, like for a 5-year goal and like a 10-year goal for ReptiCo? I know Channing will be coming online, obviously, is a big goal, but didn't know if with college, but I didn't know if there were any other goals you're looking, more species or anything like that.
I really like to grow. Not specifically, we're focused on the quantity, but we want really high quality animals. So really to find someone where I want to be able to travel to different shows out of the US. So going and meeting new people, and just that'd be really nice to go that because getting out and going and traveling really does open more doors for people to see.
She wants to brand it more international.
And having something we can rely on at home to take care of everything and expanding our animals. Honestly.
I mean, I think as we've seen, this game is becoming international. So the quicker you can kind of figure that out, I think the better. You guys will probably look. I mean, with rice, you guys obviously export to other countries, and that's, you kind of got that figured out, which is easier for the ReptiCo side.
We actually had a huge order going out to Japan.
Oh wow!
Coming in this week. So yes, we've had our animals with Canova's animals on the Tokyo news, which is awesome. That's getting so many people in Tokyo, involved into our ball python species for everyone, so
that's huge.
Things. It's cool to see, our animals with Justin's on a table with all with our stickers and our memorabilia and stuff like that to pass out. So like that was pretty cool. And then also like we've got a lot of customers in the Philippines and in Thailand and places like that. So we're in Europe orders tons of stuff. I mean, I think almost every hypo desert ghost I make, Europe buys up almost everything we produce in that area. It's a big market over there for that. They love it because anything with like contrast in that has been bought up lately.
Yeah, over there, so they like the hypo DG stuff over there.
They very much do. We've sold so much over there in that project, like every clutch, just about it. As soon as it's online, it lands and goes over there. So I guess there's just a need right now for that.
Huh? And I had to find somebody maybe that does it. I think that'd be really cool. I'd be really curious to see not only like the species, but then the morph kind of interests in the different countries would be really fascinating and see, because I've heard on the more of the Asian side, they're really into the cresteds, but it's at like a short window before they're tired of that morph and they want something different. Is that something you've seen or no? Is that
I don't know enough about.
Okay.
I know they are huge into the crested geckos, but I do not know enough about their market because this is our first year of selling. We've been breeding 3 years.
Yeah.
So our first year of selling crested geckos, and we're learning a lot. And we've got a lot of people from like Korea and Japan reaching out to us about crested geckos. But I mean, we haven't posted our best stuff. Our best stuff, we posted a few and they sold right away. So we're like, oh, maybe we don't post any more of those for right now. So like we're releasing things where we brought in a lot of animals to grow out that we bought young. And those are kind of the things that we're releasing right now. And then we're releasing some of our good stuff, but just not very much of it. We're really trying to focus on getting our lineage down to where we know it's passing like we want it to. So we know it's proved out well, like the traits are passing on like we expect it to, which is tough with crested geckos. They kind of are all over the place.
Yeah, I was actually watching a podcast this morning on that too, where they're gonna like rank the babies as like an experiment to see what do a grade wise A, B, C, and I was like, whoa, in my mind, you breed a really high end one to a high end one, they should generally all be high end. Well, it may not be.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, which I'm not in the but that's why I'm just learning and I'm just curious.
It'll work that way for the most part, but you also can find those pairs where two of them are not high end, but they make all high end offspring. It just happens that way.
Yeah, I've learned that with the Chihuahuas too.
Yeah.
The Chewies, where it's kind of like that. Where I've been trying to find stuff I like and like track the lineage. I'm like, how in the world did this come from like that? Like it's sometimes what you're saying, that sometimes the pair something pops out crazy, and so it's trying to wrap.
So Krista, let's just put this to rest right now. You and I are gonna call them Chihuahuas, right?
Yes, I keep going back. Yeah, I like Chewy. I like the name Chewy.
I do too. So, all right. So now we've changed this. Anybody out there listening that says Kahua anymore, Kahuas is wrong. We've ended this discussion.
I had a Chihuahua breeder last week, and in my mind, she kept saying Kahu, and I was like, Kahua, make sure I say Kahua. Well, like she kind of related to Chondros, and we don't say Chondros. So then I was like, oh shoot, yeah, that's true. I don't know, Latin.
It's probably an East Coast, West Coast, or either maybe a North or South thing. That's probably
okay. We will go with that, but yeah, I just like the Chewies and keeping them with that too.
I do too. So. Sounds good.
So yeah, see if there's any questions before I had. Oh shoot, I had one on the top of my mind. It's never happened. Okay. With community and stuff, how can people follow you on your guys' journey and support you? How can your follower and customers follow you and support you as you're reaching out with ReptiCo, you think?
You want to answer that or you want me to answer it? It's official ReptiCo on Instagram.
Okay.
So we do already have the website domain, but it'll be reptico.com when it launches, but it's not launched yet. We're still deciding how we're going to build that. Yeah. So official ReptiCo at Instagram right now is the #1 place to reach out to us. And then through MORPH Market, we're on MORPH Market with ReptiCo animals. And then you also can reach out to us through Rice Reptiles for anything. So we're Rice Family Reptiles on Instagram, and because we couldn't get Rice Reptiles, and we're ricereptiles.net right now because .com's being redone, and then we're also Rice Reptiles on Facebook. So
okay, cool. Follow you on there. Get caught up on everything you've got coming out. Was there anything that I maybe didn't bring up that you want to talk about? I mean, I kind of want me and MJ are kind of talking about this, but at least having you guys maybe just chanting on every other month or something for like just a little check-in, see how stuff's going. You can do this kind of style thing, or if you wanted to show animals or whatever you wanted to, if you wanted to. I just thought it'd be, idea, not all the time, but just do like a check-in. So definitely, we'll keep talking here and there. But yeah, I didn't know if yeah, it'd be okay. We're talking about, I'd be like kind of neat to have them. This is the spotlight episode, but also have you on every other month. Just tell us what's going on and stuff like that. But yeah, anything else?
We'll have some really cool stuff coming soon that'll really play into that kind of stuff. And like Channing was talking earlier, we'll launch a YouTube soon for ReptiCo. So there's going to be some very cool stuff. A lot of cool stuff coming with Rice Reptiles, ReptiCo, and then some other things. So stay tuned to what we've got coming because it's going to be crazy. We've got a lot rolling out.
Crazy. Yep. It's going to be super exciting. I think a lot of the stuff is visual. So if people see what you can say the genes of people who aren't really into it, they don't know, but seeing it visually, I think does something else to get somebody interested in it.
To show the stacking process of breeding. That does everything for it. It helps people understand it. You need to show the base and then show the steps of adding everything to it. And that's what we routinely do with Channing, learning genetics. And she has crested gecko genetics down pretty good, and she's very solid with hognose genetics.
Cool. That's all. It gets complicated like real quick. From the ball pythons mainly incomplete.
Ball pythons are very hard because even with us breeders that's hatched a lot, we're still having to test all the time because we do not want to tell you if we say we're possible something, we really think it's there, but we're not 99%, we're not 100% sure. We're 99% sure. You just get a bonus. And it's still tough as many as we've hatched, and us with Justin backing us up on idea. And so I can see where a lot of people have that, and we're always here. Anything anyone needs from us, we absolutely will help on idea and crested geckos as best we can, because we're still learning with that, but we're pretty solid there.
That's really good with starting younger for me, because it's really hard. It's harder to learn things, I'm pretty sure, as you get older.
Oh yeah.
Whenever you're younger. So if I just go ahead and learn the basics now, it's easier.
She's blasting us.
It's easier. That's how old you are. But
no, I believe it. I'm getting to the point where I don't want to learn stuff now.
Yeah, the community grows so much. So as new things come, you already know the basics. You already know most stuff. So as things come, you can learn that stuff too, and it just makes it easier.
She does not understand what she just said, Crystal. Basically what she just did, she don't understand the wisdom and the fact that now that I know I'm old, I can't answer all these questions she has all the time.
It's a different type of learning. Yes, I think younger, memorizing stuff. Yeah, but you she's looking at you like, come on.
This is us back and forth all the time. We go back and forth all the time.
You can see it on here. Well, great. Well, this was awesome. A lot of love in the chats, and like I said, this will be posted for people to come back and watch over the next. It'll be on there for people to watch, but a lot of people next several days will go and watch it. So, any last thing you wanted to say real quick before I take you guys off backstage and I'll finish this up?
Go look at our recent YouTube videos and please keep up with us, because it really does help the community grow, and we're trying to help all you guys. And I guess we're really thankful for y'all's support, because our YouTube videos have really been a big part of getting us out there, because I don't think we've talked about it on YouTube, but we are really thankful for you guys, because it grew a lot faster than we thought it was going to. So just everybody watching that's really it really means a lot to us.
Awesome. Well, it means a lot if you guys become a sponsor of the channel too. We're really excited to work with you guys and get your name out there. I'm working really hard to get guests on. Yeah, you guys are great. So yeah, really appreciate it.
I appreciate you allowing me to be the first male on the Girls Who Love Reptiles. I'm honored by that because as a daddy of a daughter, I am super supportive of the young women and any young ladies that want to do this. So I'm super supportive, and I absolutely, anytime any of the beautiful girls out there that want to enjoy what we do, you reach out to us. We're absolutely happy to help you because we want everyone to be successful in this.
Awesome. So good to hear that. I think it'll be helpful too if I get another guy, I'll be like, hey, Mr. Rice was on. It's okay. It'll help him get him on too.
Even if your parents do not support you though, and you have a passion for it, really just keep that, because you leave high school at some point and you're on your own at some point. Then you can do
whatever you want. So if you got a love for reptiles out there and your parents aren't on board, keep your love for reptiles, because one day you will be on your own and you'll build on them.
One day I wish that they would have let you do it. You can grow into something good.
Yep. Takes that trust. And
that next Justin Kabelka's out there somewhere.
Oh yeah. Yep. The next take it by storm, and be your own person and do the best.
Yeah, just stretched for the first time, Krista. That thing hasn't moved.
Which one? The white one?
Yeah, you may want to go over there and check the pulse.
Because it already stretched a while.
Yeah, I do with the platinum zooms that I do with Justin. He loves watching these cats he's always like, Krista, there's your cats. They're just used to me. But yeah, it gets real. People love saying it, Mike, but they haven't been too crazy in this episode. And see if there's any last question before we're taking off here. Lots of love in the chat. And then thanks, Mark. Marcus is in Sweden, so love having him on and every week too. But all right, great episode, guys. I'll take you off screen here and I'll finish up real quick. All right. That was great. Super excited to have them on as sponsor. Love them and their family. Really great values that you can definitely tell through this whole show. So I hope you guys got a lot of just learning out of that, just the passion in their voice, and just, to keep doing what we're doing week in, week out. We have a lot of things you heard that are going to come up with them, Rice family and ReptiCo too in the next couple months. So definitely keep update on them and see what they come out with. We'll have awesome people on the show here week in, week out. I'm excited for you guys. So again, if you have questions, don't be afraid to reach out, and I'll see you guys next week.